Good morning, good people. Today is Wednesday, February 25th, 2025. My name is Edward Bevilacqua, and getting crazy videos this morning, text messages before 6 o'clock. Wow, cool. Okay, well, today is Wednesday. That means it is our volunteers breakfast day. We're going to follow up. Last week was the monthly wraparound. Today is our deconstruction of that. Then it's off to lost wages once again for some important stuff. And then back here by 1:30 for some other important stuff. And then I have my paper to do tonight for class tomorrow. Wow. Wow. Okay. All righty. Invited to a Bigfoot expedition in Oregon this summer. Okay. And the requests keep rolling in. Lucky. That's something that could be very interesting. I have good memories of sitting around the campfire, sipping whiskey and beer, telling stories. Right. The good old American tradition that goes back probably thousands and thousands, and as long as there has been language. Okay, cool. Next, what do we got next? Okay, so again, this is Wednesday, day 3. Oh boy, dang it. Day 3 in week 1 of our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. Darn it, we're supposed to have something tonight, but I gotta get my paper done. Rats. And haven't notified anyone. Ugh. 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 Well, mea culpa, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Okay, so another big busy day. The biggest thing is I got to turn in my paper number 8, then 9, then 10, and final. All right, and volunteers breakfast. So big day. Big day. Tomorrow's another big day. Thursday, big day ends at 9 o'clock with the completion of class. Then, okay, let's focus on what we're doing here today. Day 3 of week 1. Day 3 of week 1 in our neuroscience-oriented approach to success, where the goal is simple. This is week 1, overview and orientation. This 4-week class, we're just trying to understand 2 things. Who am I and why do I behave the way I do? And so that I can dial in who I need to be right now in order to be successful, where success is defined as money, time. Success is a function of money times meaning and purpose. So it's not just money. Money isn't success. Money is what money does. Money is not success. Money enables you to experience more. So money times meaning and purpose. where meaning is defined as acts such that everything you do matters. Do stuff that matters. So money times things that matters is pretty good. But ours is success equals a function of money times meaning and purpose. Meaning and purpose. So purpose is defined as service to others. So money, success is a function of money times multiplied by the things you do that matter and service to others. So if you do things that matter, that help other people, and you throw a lot of money at it, you will be very successful based on our definition of success. Some people have a definition of success is net profit, hits, things like that. Here, ours is money times meaning and purpose. So you have to have money, you have to have meaning, and you have to have purpose. Purpose without meaning, I'm service for others when I feel like it. And if it's convenient, but I'm not going to spend any money on it. I'll pray for people. That's what I do. I pray for people because my prayers are so powerful. Because I was talking to Jesus about it this morning. That's what he told me. No. Well, not here, I should say. So everybody's entitled to what they want to do in our system. So service to others and meaning do what everything you do matters. So it's not when I feel like it. I'm watching the game right now. Oh, I'm doing this right now. I'll get around to it when it's convenient for me. No, it doesn't meet the standard for meaning. Doing things that matter is in all the time. It's what I'm doing now matter. No, okay, then it's not meaningful. And is it in service to others? Okay, so that's our goal. Week 1, to understand that. And then the metaphor of the boat, or the metaphor and the metaphor of the table. Table metaphor is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Building a table, 4-legged table. And the legs have to be both strong and firmly attached. You could have a strong leg, but the table's just resting on it. And you get any lateral movement at all, and bam, that leg could fall out. If it does, the table falls over and everything on it slides off, meaning you got to rebuild, restack, all of that stuff, wasting time. On the other hand, you could have a table where you have a leg that's securely attached, but the leg is weak. If the leg is weak, the table will also collapse. So you got to focus on a strong leg, securely attached. That's what we help our peoples do. Okay, next, metaphor of the boat. Think of your life as an adventure, and each of us are going to experience that adventure on a boat. But we have to build the boat first. So we want a boat that is physically strong, but on our boat, the sails are the manifestation of that, because the sails are the thing that really enables the boat to move, catching the wind. Current is important too, but sometimes there is no current. Sometimes the current is going the opposite direction. The sails are important to catch the wind, and the sails have to be taken care of. You lose the sails and you're in big trouble. Next, so sails are like the physical part, Next, the mental part, that is the steering mechanism of the boat. That enables us to get precisely from where we are to somewhere else. where we can tack, we can go with the wind, against the wind, across the wind. We can steer the boat to where we want to go. We're not just subject to the current and the sails. Next is the emotional aspect, and that is like the below deck part of the boat. That's where we go to get dry or keep warm or be cool. That's where we have our kitchen, our sleeping quarters. That's where we can have our supplies. That's where we have storage for the things, the booty we collect. Very important. And the emotional part is the same for us as people. And then the whole of the ship is the spiritual part. And it needs to be strong. Everything else could fail. The sails could fail. The steering mechanism could fail. The water could get in below deck and flood everything and ruin all of our stuff. But if the hull is intact, there is still hope. We can have faith that someone will come along and save us. So we learned those things this week. Next week, we learned the neuroscience part. What's going on in my brain, the cells of my brain, the neurons in my brain, how they work, how many there are, what they do, what's on them, my lived past, my anticipated future, my ability to simulate, my personality, things like that. And how do we know? Because if we damage our brain, those things are affected. If you damage your leg, those things are not affected. We don't forget who we were because we got our calf smashed, our shin bone smashed. Okay, we might not be able to do some things in the future, but that's not the idea of navigating into the future. Okay, and so this week 2, that's what we do. We focus on the brain, neurons, neurotransmitters, chemicals that go between the neurons, our reticular activating system. And that we understand, and that helps us dial in who we need to be. Week 3, now we need to get a crew for our boat. Having a boat big enough for an adventure, but it's too big for me to handle on my own, won't work. I will be stuck. And we've seen people who they know a lot of book knowledge. They have a tremendous amount of book knowledge, but they have no practical experience. They have no common sense. They have knowledge, but no common sense. So we need to have other people around. So how do we attract them? In week 4, the journey is afoot, the adventure is afoot. We need to stay the course. We need to keep the people that are helping us actually helping us go where we want to go, not get hijacked, not get distracted, not make mistakes, etc. So that's our course in 4 weeks, 7 days a week. And we have the book, which is available on Amazon. But every day we go through each day, and we have a worksheet that is attached below. It's on our website below, website, Facebook, X. It is available. Every day it is updated. Okay, cool. And our Memo of today, day 3, week 1, day 3, addiction, what you think is wrong. Okay, the actual TED Talk, Johann Harari, is everything you think you know about addiction is wrong. So it's a very important one. Number one, because a lot of our students have substance use disorders. Okay, a polite way of saying addiction problems. And again, what we believe is not true, we are not going to be able to adequately take care of it. So let's get into that in the last couple minutes after we do advice from an 80-year-old is when someone hugs you, let them be the first to let go. Right. Okay, Seth Godin, love your customers. It's nice if you do, but it's not required. You're not them. You may have had different experiences, been exposed to different ideas, or simply be prepared to make different choices. That's okay. What's useful? Loving the change you're able to make, being proud of helping people get from here to there, focusing on utility and being of service. You don't have to invite them to your birthday party, but it helps to care about impact and transformation. Right. Agree 100%. Okay. Addiction. What is addiction? Addiction is unconscious behavior that is typically not good, negative, unconscious behavior, or conscious behavior that we can't seem to not do. So, for example, I could know that oatmeal and excessive oatmeal raisin cookies are just not good for me. But if I see an oatmeal raisin cookie, I will eat it. Unless there's something wrong with it, I will eat it. I can't really say no because I can easily talk myself into it's just a cookie. Simon Sinek, we watched 2 TED Talks from Simon Sinek, and to an extent, David Foster Wallace says we are addicted to something. Maybe it's work, maybe it's drugs, alcohol, pornography, gambling, work, sex, anything that we do to excess that we can't seem to not do. The traditional belief about being addicted to drugs is that there's something in the drug that was like a hook, a chemical hook, that if you had the drug enough times, a certain number of times, you would become hooked. And that has been the dominant paradigm. If you take LSD, a certain number of times you'll be hooked. Heroin, a certain number of times you will become hooked. Yuval Harari, the speaker, investigated this for reasons that we don't have time to get into. And he concluded, no, it's not that at all. It's that as humans, we bond with humans, but if we don't bond with humans, we're going to bond with something. And he went back and asked the question, well, why do we believe there's chemical hooks? And it's because back in the 20th century, way back in the 1900s, experiments were done with rats in mazes, getting them, not mazes, rats in cages. And the rats were given water and drug water. And pretty soon the rats started taking the drug water to the point where they would die. And the idea from the researchers was, well, rats are rational creatures. No rational creature is going to intentionally kill itself. Therefore, there must be something in the drugs that once they get into the brain just can't let go. That's the idea. Plain and simple, that's the idea. Yuval Harari comes along and he finds that, well, maybe, wait a second, that doesn't really make sense. Moving along, because racing for time, he discovered it was we will bond to drugs if we don't have good personal relationships. We need to have good personal relationships. The opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection. And we must learn to connect with other people, to be around other people. And that's fundamentally what AA does. but their reasoning is flawed. Okay, time is up. Gotta go. Gots to go. Maybe we can pick this up tomorrow.